So today's session is doing a reality check with what has been actually evolved in the last few years, starting from I must say maybe 2022, the entire Gen AI hype, 23, 24, 25. We have seen a lot of stuff. So what is it that we need to probably skill up that would help us sustain in this market, and even not just sustain but also thrive in this market? And that's what is the objective of today's session. And again, there is still debate that whether AI will take our job, whether AI is really going to be successful, and there are several people who are in denial as well. So let me just tell you that AI has taken over several jobs that are repeatable, that does not need uh, innovation, intuition all the time. Even some of the jobs that need a bit of intuition, those are also been taken. But who has taken the jobs over? Is it completely the AI or the people who are experts in AI? The people who are experts in AI, they have taken over the job and they are doing the job of probably 5 to 8 people in certain industries. In some cases, they are doing the job of more than 20 people. Such as a very simple example is marketing. Earlier, you used to have a designer, a video editor, content writer, then content reviewer, and you had to work on that particular content or post for probably 4 to 5 hours. Now, within an hour, you have all that content. And who is helping us? AI. And there are several big marketing agencies that I am seeing who have replaced people with AI agents because it was a repetitive stuff. Content generation is one of the biggest strengths of Gen AI, and we cannot ignore that. And if we cannot ignore, what is it that we need to learn or skill up going forward? And that's what I'm going to be talking about. Now, is it really needed for us to upskill? Is it really needed for us to learn more about agentic AI? I suppose yes, because human beings always had a challenge to be agile, to be adaptive in our entire life in many situations, and we adapted. But you need also right guidance. You also need the reality check. Probably there is a lot of hype around AI, but there is also a lot of reality around AI, and especially for the developers. And I really feel bad about them because they were the guys who were the core team players within the organizations who were developing the code. Now, if you really look at it, what has happened in the market, the development has become really the commodity, nothing more than the commodity. 80% of coding is done by the AI agents. Now, before that, let's just look at it why also we need to upskill. Now, these are the stats. This is not something that I have created. This is coming from all the research surveys that have happened recently this year and some of them last year. So what does this tell us? 62% average wage premium for AI skills, up from 57% a year earlier, which means that if you really would like to have a premium salary, if you would like to have the better salary, AI skills is playing vital role. I'll just give you an example. I was visiting a place, then I was introduced to a person, who has done within the entire organization an AI course. Whether it is useful or not, whatever it is, that's a debatable thing, but he's been treated with so much of respect just because he understands AI. Compared to, there are several others around him who have more experience, expertise, knowledge. But since he has done a AI course, he knows AI little bit better. He's been respected, and he's been asked questions for guidance, irrespective of whether that skill is useful or not. But this is what is happening. So if you do not have AI skills, you won't be attractive to the organizations. Now, if you look at this as well, 69% growth in AI skill jobs. AI skill job openings compared to what was it, 9% overall. And this is from the PwC's AI jobs barometer, June 2026. 69% growth in AI skill jobs. Even if you look at the postings, the requirements that are coming out of the organizations, be it small, medium, or large organization, they are expecting that the candidate should have AI skills, should, not preferred, should have AI skills. And then another stats, 47% of software development postings now mention AI, which means almost 50% of, posting software development. I'm not talking about normal software development, which means the guys who are developing. So it's obvious. And then there's another stats which is a bit shocking. 19% employment shortfall for workers aged between 22 and 25 in the most AI exposed roles. So nearly 20% shortfall. So if you have an AI exposed role, you definitely need to have the AI skills. And here is another structural shift or cultural shift that you call. Another stat, 39% of workers' core skills change by 2030, 59 in every 100 need reskilling. So which means nearly 60% of workforce need reskilling. And that's a massive. And we can ask the question, do you want to be part of that or not? And why I'm putting down these stats, because every time, because I'm seeing a culture saying that, yeah, AI, people are limited to just chat GPT. They do some of the stuff and then they feel that they are empowered and they like it, but they don't go beyond that. Even in organizations, some of the guys use ChatGPT and then they say that, okay, they know everything about it, but they don't go beyond that. But if you are a developer, if you are a professional who is seeking AI career or AI empowered career, and you really would like to build agents, and building agents is not difficult these days because there are several um, platforms or frameworks that are available, and several of them are even for free as well. So building AI agents is not at all a challenge. And then the 2030 price, if you look at it, agentic commerce alone is projected to orchestrate 3 to 5 trillion globally. Trillion globally by 2030. Agentic commerce, which means that the commercial use of agents is projected between 3 and 5 trillion. And we really, whether we want to be part of it or not, is a question. So that was just a thought provoking from some stats perspective. Like I said, coding, development, software programs are becoming commodity. Commodity means you can buy it, you can trade it, you can buy. Now, whether it is true or not, we can go with several of the Examples such as Google. If you talk to Google, they say that nearly 25% of the new code is generated using AI. 25%, which means all those developers who are doing that coding, either they have been refactored into the organization with different role or they have been let go, which is a massive. So which means 1 in 4 developers are actually the agents. 1/4. And this is actually the digital employee what we have. And then if you look at Microsoft, it's it's up to 30% of the code is written by Microsoft that we are using, be it for Office, MS Office, or be it for any of the ERP solutions or operational systems of Microsoft is written by AI. We'll also talk about how AI has become very, very costly and expensive just in a while. But I would like to give you the reality of what is happening around the world. And let me also tell you the example of it. Claude, Claude, which is Anthropic's platform, which is actually writing the code for probably millions of people. Millions of people are using that Claude platform. Its code generation, probably 80% of its code generation is done by AI agents. So what they have done, they developed the code to write the code using AI. And today, Anthropic is one of the topmost platform for developers. They can quickly develop. So it's really a massive change. And maybe some of you or many of you are actually using Claude or any of the other platforms for developing the code. But if you don't champion yourself with certain other things that would become the moat, which means uniqueness of it, then we are going to lose out on it. Because tomorrow, any organization can say that, okay, guys, what were you doing? No, we were developing this. No problem. Just to give all these prompts, and then system will develop it or the platform will develop it. We don't need you. So how can we protect ourselves? So now let's just look at that. Routine coding, everything routine, which is just copying some of the methods from one program to other program, are doing CRUD operations, which is create, read, update, delete operations, are browsing, operations, searching operations, glue scripts, which is nothing but copy and paste from one place to other place, first draft test, all these things. Platforms are already doing it. So no need to invest time and effort into learning. So those routine coding has already gone away. It's really a pity that our universities are not changing, because they need to. They are still teaching basics of programming, saying that okay, you need to use this syntax, semantics, coding, code development. All of those things are not at all going to be useful. Yes, you need to know what exactly the code is doing, but you are not going to write the code. And how Claude or any other platforms are developing it? They are developing it from the perspective of whatever is being documented. And we all know that large organizations, whenever they are building a project, they document it, what exactly the functional document, technical document, uh, and then the process flow document, all of that. And they use that, they train it, and then they get the code developed. So what is it that we really need to learn? We need to understand the agentic frameworks. We really need to understand what are those tasks that are performed well by the agents compared to not. We need to understand that as humans. If at all, we would like to keep our tacit. Tacit means here, know-how, our domain expertise. If we really would like to keep that, then we need to understand in depth what are the capabilities of each agent, where is the possibility for an AI agent to fail, and how can we retrain it, and what is the domain expertise that we need to explain, what is the business acumen for that particular process, what is the domain knowledge that is needed. So this is where we can master ourselves. This is where we can guide the agents to do the better work. And the moment we are guiding, we become, somebody with the skills to guide the agents to do better. We will have a better positioning as well as better role within an organization. I'll just give you an example of it. When we introduced even within our organization quite a while ago that let's start using some of the code development using the tools, everything every, so everything is prompt based, we all know that. So one of our developers have consumed thousands of credits. Why? Because he wanted to check what exactly the agents are doing, what exactly the platform is going to provide the output. And it became very expensive for us because thousands of credits means it's hundreds of thousands of rupees or lakhs of rupees that you are spending just because a developer was either testing it or trying to see what agent can do, or trying to learn how should I prompt it, because that has really costed hundreds of thousands of rupees, lakhs of rupees. And let me give you another example. Very recently, I believe Microsoft, their head of development and also the C level, has sent out a memorandum to all the developers saying that, guys, we are consuming so many credits. So we would like you to consume less credits and use the different models that are cost effective. And why is this happening? Because of two reasons. One is, first of all, the model that you are using is expensive, such as Anthropic's Cloud. There are a couple of models that are very, very expensive. Those are not at all worth it. Whereas many of the people, probably 6 out of 10 in the organization, they don't know how to use the agentic platform. They don't know how to prompt. Again, I'm not talking about ChatGPT's prompts. I'm talking about more system based prompts, because there's a huge difference. ChatGPT's prompt, you would get response at that point in time. You use it only for yourself. Whereas when you are building applications, that application is going to have its own lifetime. It has to survive, be it anything to do with security, be it anything to do with reliability of the system and not exposing the data, all of those kind of things. So those are not exactly the same. So you need to have the right skills also to use the platforms. And we also need to understand the entire system architecture. Now, the moment we are bringing a platform and trying to utilize that in place of development, then you need to understand how does it integrate, what's the cost for that, what's the latency for that, and what could be the failure modes for that, and what's the security risk for that. Because Each and every platform comes with certain risks. You need to evaluate those risks. If you don't evaluate those risks, it's not going to help you build formidable applications. So that's on why and how should we use it. And then again, another quick survey was that everyone uses it, almost nobody trusts it. This is also something that is happening in the organization. Several people use the models or the tools, but they don't trust it very easily. Why? Because they still feel that AI agents or the code agents need to bring a lot more value and reliability from a security perspective, from the output perspective, compared to what it is doing currently. And many other models are also evolving. But this is where we can become champions. We can look at the agent's output, we can understand the architecture of it, and also we can understand, what are those pitfalls that we can address. The moment you build those skills, understanding the agent behavior, understanding how it is working, how it is integrating, what are the pitfalls for that, and you are able to fine tune it, you are able to fix those issues, then within the organization you would get a lot more respect, and your skill set would be appreciated over others. And that's something that we have to learn. How do you differentiate from just a coding agent? And this is how you can differentiate. If you understand the business process better than others, if you understand where the agent would fail and what could be the accuracy issues, and if you upfront address all of them, then you would have a lot more credibility at workplace than others. And then going further, it's not just because, of IT job you have to need to learn AI agents or agentic AI. Absolutely not. Whatever the job that you have, you need to learn AI. You need to have AI skills. And let me also give you some examples of it. Earlier, especially the legal guys, they used to produce hundreds of pages of legal agreements by writing each and every word, by writing the clauses. Now they use AI agents to do it. There are several AI agents. If it is to do with software agreements, then you have an agent. If it is to do with service agreement, then you have an agent. If it is to do with outsourcing, you have an agent. If it is to do with HR relevant agreement, then you have an agent. So the agents are everywhere, and I can tell you that millions or probably billions of agents are already in the entire digital ecosystem. So it's not just about IT. Let me be very, very specific. It's not just that, you are an IT person, that's why you need to adapt AI, but wherever you are, you can bring agentic AI to that particular line of business. Now in finance, so reviewing the documents for data accuracy and all of that is being done now currently by the AI agents. However, there is also manual review, but that's at the end of it. So majority of the accuracy problems, reconciliation, all of it is handled by AI agents. So building AI agents, understanding AI agents is not just for the IT fellows or IT developers, but it is for everybody. And if you don't understand that, then you are not someone with whom any organization would like to work with. Audits and assurances. This is also a massive market. Whoever is coming from the audits or quality assurances or legal, they can use AI agents. Earlier, even within our organization as well, to produce one agreement, it used to take probably up to a week if it is a new agreement. Now you can do it in an hour or two just because of the agents that we have. And then also, if you have the compliances, statutory things, such as if you have to probably write the entire release strategy of a product with the right compliances, be it a food product or be it any product. Earlier, the documentation used to take a lot of time. Now it's not. It's been done by the agents and reviewed by the experts. And we must become those experts that are reviewing the output of AI agents. And a lot of back office, be it contact centers, call centers, service centers, or any assistants, virtual assistants, or even in the medical field as well. Most of them are running on AI agents. A lot of telcos are using AI agents. A lot of hospitals are using AI agents. But if you say that, oh no, this is not my cup of tea. I'm a medical professional. I don't need agentic AI. Then we might be wrong, because you need to also understand that. So if you really look at the market, standalone AI agents, because you have different types of AI agents, standalone AI agents forecast to grow 13 times by 2030. 13 times. And which is a massive growth, 13 times. And then where the growth is, if you look at it, agentic AI skill mentions in postings up 280% in 1 year. So agentic AI skill is mentioned in the job posting, which is increased by 280%. So how is this transitioning happening? Most of the technologies, most of the technology companies they are moving away from the thinking that we are building the app, we are building the software, we are building the solution, to we are going to govern, we are going to evolve, we are going to get more user adaptability of that particular platform. So this is the shift that is happening in the market. So very soon, in next couple of years, we might not even see the developers requirements job posting coming in. And if you really would like to stay in this market, which is becoming competitive day by day by day, then we need to understand how these AI agents work, what are the different agentic frameworks. So hope this is not too much that I'm asking, but I wanted to just bring the reality of it. So what are the things that we also need to look at when we are building the agents? One of the things is the models that are available for AI agents, they are pretty good. But where are they failing? They are failing on the right data. The data that is consumed, the data that is ingested, the data that it is going to produce, and the trust on the output. That's where those AI agents are failing. So whenever we build any AI agent, those are the two aspects that we have to look at. One is, what is the data that it is using, how well governed it is, and what kind of right quality of data it is, and then whether it is failing or not. Now I will give you an example. So I'm sure everybody knows about cricket or any game. Let's suppose that you take a team A, and you train the agent with all the matches that they have lost. And you build your model on that data. The data is all the matches that particular team has lost. That's the trained data. And then you go and use that model for that particular team A, and in production, it will always give you, if you pitch that particular team against any team, it will always fail. Why? Because you have trained it on the failed data. So it is always important that you proportionate it as close to the reality of it. If you take probably a party that is always winning 99.9% and you train the model with that particular data, every time that model is used, that party is going to win. Why? Because it has been trained on that particular data set. So the data on which the models are trained is important. The data on which the agents are trained is important. If you always feed dirty data, and if you do not have the proportionate of worst, bad, good, best data as part of your models, you are not going to have huge success rate. And if you are training the data with the code that has got vulnerabilities, that has got security risks, non-compliances, and every time that model is generating the code, it would have those flaws. So it's exactly like what you are feeding, that is what you are going to get. So that's where the AI agents are failing today. One is the trust, and then the second one is the data. Because models are working pretty good. Models are always there. And then also the data from where the agent is interacting, such as probably the databases, web services, or text files, or even website, crawling of it, all of that. We need to give the right references to that. If you don't do it, then it's going to be a massive, massive problem going forward. I see some of the questions coming up probably. I will answer them at the end. So if you really look at it, 64% cited that security of the agent, security of the code that is developed using the agentic platforms is a problem. It's not just because of the code, but it is because of the data with which that particular agent has been trained. So here comes a couple of steps for us where we can invest our time and effort. So you need to define, first of all, what is it? The taxonomy. What is taxonomy? It's the metadata. It's the know-how of it. Then the master data and the business rules that a particular agent or set of agents must follow. Any ambiguity in the taxonomy, in the master data, in the business rules are going to cause more harm than ever. And then the next one, that's the definition of it. Then how do you prove the quality? Check for the completeness of the data. If somebody is asking, can you please define what are the different weathers, and you only take 3 weathers, but you don't take other tropical weathers as part of it, then you are missing out on the completeness. Accuracy, lineage. Those are the things that would make data trustworthy, even the output trustworthy. And start the agents from supervised agents, and then you can leave it to, you can transform them into unsupervised autonomous agents. But start with supervision on it, and then govern the action and take accountability for that particular action and make it feasible for adoption. And we have now multi-agents. Now we have composite agents. Then we have super agents. So each one has got different profile, different taxonomy. A super agent can call several other agents. But whereas the standalone agents cannot call other agents because they would be used only standalone by somebody else. So who uses it, when to use it, and who governs it is really a part of it. So the audience, the topic that I'm talking about is a little bit technical, but also in terms of what is coming in near future. So if you don't understand it now, you could listen to the recording when the time is right as well. So those are the three things that we need to. So we need to take control of the taxonomy, the definitions of it, master data and business processes or business rules of that agentic framework. Once you understand that, define it, and then have mastery of that, then your career is going to stay for the next whatever the number of years. Prove the quality of the data from completeness perspective, accuracy perspective, lineage perspective. And then third one is that govern the action. Every time any agent is taking action, have the logging of it, auditability of it, so that you can always go back to it in case of any wrong output, in case of any non-trustworthy outputs, you can go back. And if you are running an agent without auditability, it's going to be a big, big problem, because AI governance is going to take lead going forward. And what are the few competencies? You can build one agent. And I'm going to give you a simple one, which is N8N. N, alphabet N, 8, and then again N. And that's the framework. Anybody can go and build that. It's a visual framework. You can drag and drop. You can use any of the existing agents or the agents that are even publicly available. You can use the APIs. It is fantastic framework for learning, understanding the agentic AI. N8N. And it also has got the autonomicity when it comes to agentic AI. And you can also have the human in the loop as part of it. And if you have continuous data synchronization, continuous data collection, then N8N can actually agentic AI framework can help you. Such as, let's suppose that you have to collect all the files in your organizations from different folders, and combine them into one place, and then take the uniqueness of it and publish it onto a directory or a file. Then you can use the agentic AI. You don't need to do that manually. If you have to source the data from 10 or 20 different sources and consolidate it and then use it as part of any other process feed, then you can actually use agentic AI. And then when it is deployment, such as probably you need to combine several files and then get it deployed to your servers or to public servers, you can use agentic AI. So there are several other frameworks as well, like Crew AI is also there. LangGraph is also there, but that is more for the technical guys. N8N is very much a layman kind of agentic platform that would help us. And then you have Make is another one, Zapier is another one. So there are several. You can browse through it. Even I don't have to tell you, because you can ask ChatGPT or any of the Gen AI what are the different agentic frameworks that are available. Then based upon that we can do. So what is the suggestion for us to master this? Future proofing our career is ship one agent, build one agent. So one recurring task that is part of your job profile, make an agent and own it and monitor it, supervise it for few days to weeks. And then once it is ready, then you move it into production. That's one task. Then what you can also do is have 5 or 6 use cases developed using the cloud platform or any other platform that is generating the code, and then assess it, which one is working for you, which one is not. Because if you are doing one use case, you won't understand. So 5 to 6 use cases, in some cases even you can go up to 10 use cases, get it developed, and then understand it, how it is working. That would give you immense insight into how the AI agents are working, what kind of code is generated. And once you master this, you can own that entire domain, data domain. Because what is the moat, what is your unique selling point is, or what is your security is having the domain expertise. And if you don't have the domain expertise, I mean, we will become commodity. We can be replaced. So three things to take away. Don't invest time and effort in codifying or in developing or in code development, because codified knowledge is automated and it's going to be even further automated. Tacit is not. What is tacit? It is know-how, the domain expertise, the business acumen, the business processes, in-depth knowledge of it. That is tacit. So focus on tacit, own the domain knowledge. And entry-level jobs, you know, people are going to ask you basic questions, but if you really would like to go to the senior level jobs or skills, those are growing all the time. So if you do not have the AI skill in the first round itself, be it an entry level or a senior level, the guys will say that, okay, let's not hire this person. Or if you are getting promoted, evaluated within your organization, the team would say that this guy doesn't have the knowledge about AI agents. So judgment is now at an entry level. So every entry level job is requiring AI skills. And then trusted data is the unique selling point. That's the secure thing. So know how to get the trusted data, know how to train on the trusted data, know how to get the complete data set and the data quality of it, because people are investing so much in identifying what data an agent or a model need to be trained on. And many a times everything is done before you deploy it into production. They realize that the data on which the model or the agent has been trained is not the right data, and then they throw entirely. That's why understanding it is important. So these are the three things that I would like to leave it with you. Don't focus on coding, don't focus on developing or writing your own code, because it's automated, it is already commoditized, whereas know-how of it is not. And every entry level or a senior level skill requires AI, and more you would like to move into the senior level roles, more AI knowledge is required. And then trusted data, right data, complete data, qualitative data, data with provenance, data with lineage is going to be the security or the core secret or recipe for that particular organization and for ourselves as well. So with that, I would like to probably take questions. Let me see if there are any questions. Uh, how to train a model on our organization data? Now, if you have the model deployed within your organization, you can get the security clearance for your infrastructure team from your security teams, and then allow them to connect to those data sources to train it. But we really need to ensure that the data that is getting access to the AI agents or the models, it is safe, because there could be sensitive data, and sensitive data, nobody would give you access to that. such as it could be payroll, it could be contracts information, or it could be, formulas, or it could be regulated information or auditability. So those are the data points or the data sets that uh, people are hesitate to allow you. Unless you have the leadership permission, you won't get access to it. And if you really would like to just try out on the sample of it, then you need to mock the data. You need to have the data in such a way that it is more or less similar to what it could be. So create a sample as um, pragmatic to your organization data, train on it, show the results, and then you can get maybe, the approval from your management or the leadership within your organization. Uh, that was the one question, and then there's some other stuff which I don't understand. So I'm working on a couple of projects on AI with my organization, also upskilling with my personal projects. Can you give me a roadmap to understand better AI? AI security and governance is relevant to the data that you are sourcing for your models. So whatever the data that you are sourcing for the models, if it has got the sensitive information, if it has got the publicly, what you call exposed information that is not verifiable, then nobody is going to bet on those models. And the security, from the security perspective, the models should not be hallucinated by just giving them the wrong input. So that's the security of it. Such as, I'll give you an example of the security of it, or the governance of it. And you say that you have trained all the HR data, wherein you also have trained their salaries information of it. And somebody is now creating a job profile. It tells that, oh, already I have so and so role, and we are paying for this. So you are revealing the information about it. So any sensitive data, that needs to be protected within the organization, you need to have governance around that. Yeah. So how do you build a model, AI governance model? First, you take the data, you scan through every bit of it, tokenize it, and run some of the APIs to check whether it has got any non-compliance from the GDPR perspective, from your organization perspective, your organization policies perspective. Run it, and if it highlights some of them, exclude that as part of the training or that entire section. And then you go through the review and approve process of the data training itself. I'm not even talking about model training, data training itself. Then you validate the data. Then you do not expose that to many people, just expose it to only domain experts. Let them identify the assurance of the output of it, and then you can deploy it into the production environment. Where does one start with it when one is coming from non-technical background? Agentic, like I mentioned, N8N is the platform. So you don't need to be really a professional in understanding it. Because ChatGPT, even though it is good, I'm not against any of the models, because each one will do well in the right context and right application of it. AI security and governance, there are a lot of them. So AI governance lead, okay, AI uh, the security head. So there are roles that are evolving, and especially even in India as well, there are several AI roles that are evolving. And even the titles of the existing roles are changing. Security advisor to AI security advisor, or Gen AI security advisor, or Gen AI security expert. So they are adding AI or Gen AI as part of the titles or roles. I'm teaching a person how to code like React or Python. Would it be useful for his future job cracking? I personally don't think that teaching somebody programming, how to write the code, how to do it, and the way it has been trained in the past is going to be valuable. What they need to understand is only the syntax and semantics. If they just understand it, that would be enough for them to evaluate the code that is written by the agents. So, I mean, it can be done even using tools. I don't think that you need that kind of skill set now because it is becoming commodity. And I'm not sure whether you have seen it or not. There used to be hundreds of thousands of, developer platforms for teaching them how to write the code and all of it. Most of them are now vanishing. Even within Hyderabad as well, if you look at it, within Bangalore as well, if you look at it, okay, how to code, learn Python in 30 days, 20 days, all those things are, really vanishing from the market. So I don't think that would be good. We need to teach them, how to optimize the output that is coming out of the agents, coming out of the platform, rather than, teaching them how to write the code. How to do data training, not model training, because my organization does not give me access to model. Data training, you can use any of the models that are available. There are plenty of, I must say, maybe millions of different models that are available that can be that are open source that you can download it and prepare your data and train with that model. You might not have exactly the model that your organization is using, but at least you would know how can you train a model differently. You can use, again, governance there, which file needs to be trained when, how it needs to be trained, and what needs to be checked from the database when if you are reading it, or if it is just from a PowerPoint. So there's a lot of information that is already available. How to train your own data with a simulating model as that of your organization. Like prompt engineering, is there anything called loop engineer, graph engineering coming in future? See, that's a good question because you don't know what is coming. Because in the next 2 years, I personally believe that autonomous agents are going to dominate. Okay. RAG has become now probably a secondary thing. It is needed, but it is not the only thing. So RAG, you need to understand what is RAG, and RAG, everybody is using it. And there's a lot more that has come into the agentic AI, and RAG is just part of it. It's a retrieval augment generation, and it's not something that is going to give you your mode. And then workflows, there are a lot of automated autonomous workflows. I mean, drag and drop, and you can build it. Try your hands out with N8N. It's a quite good platform, and it's very popular as well, very powerful as well. Try out few things. N8N. uh, you can build your own agent, understand how the agentic workflow is. It has got an agentic workflow, it has got autonomous agents, it has got also semi-autonomous agents, it has got also a human in the loop kind of agent building factory. So there are several things out of it. And again, I'm not just saying N8N, you have several others as well. Crew AI as well, I'm just typing it here. N8N is one, and all of them, please add the URL. I'm not giving the URL, I'm just giving the name here. Crew AI is another one. Okay, and then uh, LangGraph is another one, but LangGraph and Crew AI are mostly for the developers who doesn't need visual canvas or drag and drop kind of functionality. And then Zapier is there, another one, and Make is another one. And as I'm telling you now, probably in next few weeks to months, these might also change. So it's not something that is stable, and this field is evolving. I mean, with a speed that nobody can keep a tap on it. So be contextualized to it. Whatever you need to learn. Otherwise, you will just spend all your time only learning without applying it in your real life. Okay. I hope I have answered all the questions. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope this was useful. And inshallah, you will be able to skill up and then be the champion in your field. Best wishes.
Jazakumullah khair, Dr. Ahmad Saab. It was really helpful, very nice. So, this we close this session. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank
Assalamu
you.
alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.